In modern science fiction, a popular trope involves astronauts landing on a high-gravity planet. They spend just 1 hour on the surface, but when they return to orbit, 7 years have passed for the rest of the crew. This concept was formalized in 1915 through Albert Einstein's general theory of relativity. He proved that time is flexible, an elastic dimension that stretches or compresses depending on gravity and speed. Einstein's work overturned the classical physics of Isaac Newton, who had described time as an absolute, unchanging constant that ticked at the same rate for every observer in the universe. But centuries before these scientists, ancient Hindu texts like the Bhagavata Purana had already described a universe governed by these same shifting temporal scales. Central to this worldview are the 14 lokas. These are 14 distinct realms or dimensions stacked throughout the cosmos, each operating on its own unique clock. By following this ancient map upward, we can see how early mythmakers conceptualized the mechanics of time dilation long before the development of modern laboratory instruments. We begin in the middle realm, Madhya-loka, where Earth is situated. In this tier, time is viewed as a repeating cycle of birth and destruction, rather than a straight line moving toward an end. This loop is defined by the Yuga cycle, 4 distinct eras that repeat across millions of years, governing the spiritual and physical evolution of the world. When we move the journey higher to the realm of Svarloka, the narratives begin to describe a shift in the rate of time. In the story of King Muchakunda, he spends what feels like a single year fighting a war for the deities in this higher realm. When he eventually prepares to return, he is told that while he was gone for 1 year, 360 years had passed on Earth. This narrative mirrors the velocity time dilation measured by modern atomic clocks. Astronauts on the International Space Station, moving at thousands of miles per hour, actually age slightly slower than people on the surface. The myth of Muchakunda presents a story that aligns with this effect, suggesting an intuitive understanding that moving between different realms of the cosmos alters the speed of time for the traveler. The most extreme examples occur at the highest tier, Brahmaloka. Here, the story of King Kakudmi and his daughter Revati describes a visit to the creator deity that results in a massive temporal jump. They wait in this divine realm for a musical performance to finish, a wait that lasts only about 20 minutes in their experience. But when they speak to Brahma, he reveals that while they listen to the music, 27 cycles of the 4 yugas had passed on Earth. That 20-minute wait equals 116 million years of human history. In that brief moment, Kakudmi's family, his ministers, and his entire civilization were erased by the sheer scale of the time difference. Some texts push this logic even further, moving beyond our 14 worlds to describe a multiverse of separate universes. In the Tripura Rahasya, a king named Mahasena is shown alternate realities where a single day in that space accounts for 1.2 billion Earth years. These ancient descriptions of separate worlds with vastly different temporal rates parallel modern theories in quantum mechanics and the study of parallel dimensions. For King Kakudmi and Revati, the journey back to Earth from the higher realm forced them to confront the physical reality of these temporal shifts. Because 116 million years had passed, human biology had changed. They returned to find a future race that was physically much smaller and weaker than the people of their own era. The myth concludes with Lord Balarama using his plow to physically shrink Revati, adjusting her height to match the new, smaller humans of the current age. The story uses this physical transformation to anchor the idea that these journeys into higher realms carry an irreversible price. You return to a world that has moved on without you. While these accounts are mythological, they originated from a tradition of rigorous philosophical and astronomical inquiry. In the Vaisheshika Sutra, the sage Kanada defined time as a primary, fundamental substance, conceptualizing it as a dimension that underpins the physical world. Later, the astronomer Varamihira calculated 9 distinct variations of time, such as Brahmamana and Sauramana. This systematic mapping shows that these scholars viewed time as a variable dimension, shaped by the observer's location in the cosmos. Ancient epics and modern equations describe a universe where time is a fluid byproduct of perspective. Whether using mathematics or poetry, the conclusion remains the same. The clock is only as steady as the ground you stand on.